interested in investing in properties. Went to Joe's workshop 2 weeks ago. Picked up a couple of things, so I'm excited about doing something different than working for somebody else. Finally working for myself. That's about me.
Thanks, Larry. Okay. So let's get busy. So anyway, just talk a bit about myself before we delve into the subject matter. Yeah, for those who don't know, I used to live in England, and I came to the United States October the 15th, 1985 at 7:30 on TWA flight 732. Okay.
You mentioned that when they bring you money, it's the 8% annual return.
Yes.
However, when you do the deal and you get the profit from the deal, do you give them?
No, the JV partners are debt financers, so they get a return on their money.
Okay.
They don't get a split of the profits.
Okay.
It's my deal.
Right.
Okay. And so they get a return on their money, 8%. But the big thing, the reason why they're doing it is a couple of ways. One is a decent return. I mean, it's better than 0.1% you get at Bank of America, okay, or 0.2 that you may get somewhere else, okay. So you get a decent return. But more importantly, they get the opportunity to see where their money is being spent, okay. There's a certain comfort level to know that, you know, I can see where my money is, okay. If I came to Pearl and say, Pearl, hey, I'm buying some gold mine in Nevada, okay, you know, can you borrow me 50,000? Okay, I mean, you know, she may borrow me, but she's gonna say, well, you know, I don't know gold in Nevada, you know, but she knows where Hay Street is, okay, and she can come here and see where that money is. So there's a certain comfort level to know where my money is. You see what I'm saying? And you can see the transformation of the house. You also get education as well. So it's like a win-win scenario, and it's tight, and you get securitized as well. You know, so the idea is that where's the money going to come from? In this scenario, it's a mixture of lines of credit, private funds, and joint venture partner monies. Okay? So if it was you, then, or if we had worked together, who else I pick on? Let's say John. I'll pick on John this time. I haven't picked on him yet. So let's say John has been with me on the JV program. Okay, on the house on 40th Street. So that's something which we didn't do with John, but this is something which I would strongly recommend that we do on the project. Let's say John wants to build his private money pool. He knows a lot of people. Some of them have money, some of them don't. Okay, he's connected with me. I've hooked him up with a couple of the banks that I work with. Okay, so that's a possibility as well. But he knows that private money is the way to go. Okay? So the issue then becomes if I'm a private money lender, although if I'm a friend of John's, why would I lend John any of my money? Okay? I don't know him, well I know him obviously. I don't know he's going to be a good steward of my money. Okay? So the way we do it is that I would tell John, please look in your contacts list and all your friends that you know. Okay, people that you know, they may or may not have money, that's not important. It's just, I want you to tell people that you're working on a project at Hay Street. Okay? And so we're going to invite his friends to this house 2 or possibly 3 times. Okay? The first time is when we first bought the house, when I first bought the house. So John will bring his friends. This is just John, his friends, and I will be there. Okay? And John is going to talk about what he is going to do as part of this project, what we're going to do as part of this project. Follow me? He's going to say, I mean, the people are, this is John's friends now, who are just your regular people. They're not investors, they're just people that John knows. Okay? So they come into the house, like that video that you saw, with trash all over the place, the wall over here, and so on. And John is talking about, we're going to take this wall out here, we're going to do this, we're going to do the kitchen over here. So here's John all smiles, talking about all the great things that he's going to do as part of this project. And then looking at him and thinking, is this guy crazy? Because, I mean, you're just regular people, okay? I mean, what on earth are you doing, John? Are you possessed or what? Okay? Fine. Then we're going to do it again, halfway through the project. John invites his friends over. Okay, now the house is shaping up. Okay, and so they can see where this is going. Okay, and so John is saying, remember the wall I was telling you about we're going to take down? Well, as you can see, we've taken it down. Remember the kitchen that we're going to do? As you can see, we're doing da-da-da, and so forth. So now they can visualize where this is going. And they can see John for who he is, which is, he's a real estate investor. He's not just my friend next door, or my uncle, or this is another side of John, which they may or may not know. Okay? And then John brings them back when the house is finished. And now everything's all finished. Okay? So now they can see what he was talking about. This is almost like his real-time version of HGTV. Okay? So John, in their eyes, is different. I mean, he's a guy, he's a guru. I mean, he's an expert. I mean, because most people don't, I mean, you're an investor, so this is not a big deal to you. But for your average homeowner, this is unbelievable. This is TV stuff, okay? And they're totally blown away that John, the guy next door, my uncle, this is what he's doing in his second life. Okay, because all they know of John is, oh, John's the guy I work with. Oh, John is my, he goes to church with. Or John's the guy that, we play pool with. I mean, that's all they know of him. They don't see this side of John. Okay, so in their eyes, John is just is an amazing guy. Because this is impressive stuff what we're doing here. I know it's not a big deal to you guys, but for the average person, that's why HGTV and those programs are so popular. Because people eat this stuff up, okay? And so now they can equate a person that they know to doing something like this. And so what John may or may not do is say, okay, then I'm going to be doing some other projects in the future. If you want to be a part of those projects, just let me know, we'll see what we can do. Okay, so he set the ball rolling in terms of building credibility, in terms of equating him with this. Okay, and that's how you kind of build your private money pool. He's not begging for money, he's just showing people what he's doing. Okay, he's building credibility, integrity, he's letting the world know this is what I'm doing. A lot of people are intrigued by this and want to be a part of something like this. Okay?
That's great.
The thing is, I can do it to everybody. Everybody here, if we do a deal together, we can do the same thing. You know what I mean? There's no reason why you can't do what I've just said. Absolutely no reason. Okay? Because you have a contact list, you know a lot of people, they may or may not have money, that's not important. It's just that you know people. And you want to invite people to show them what you're doing. Okay? You're not trying to pitch for money, you're just showing them what you're doing. Okay? And through that, you never know who you'll come across. Oh, okay, I know somebody who, you know what I'm saying? And so on, and that's how it all kind of builds up. So financing, I know for a lot of people it's very intimidating, but it shouldn't be, okay? Because there's ways to get financing, okay? As I said before, I've developed relationships now. I said the guy at one of the crowdfunding people, he said, we have unlimited money, unlimited, this is unbelievable, unlimited money, okay? And if I know, and several people have told me, Joe, if I know that you know what you're doing, but let's pick on Larry now. If Larry, Jason, he just come in. Yeah, he's come in, so let's pick on him now. I'll teach you to come out. So Jason comes in. Okay, so let's say Jason, what's it called? I'm a hard money guy, my lender. Okay, they'll say to me, Joe, look, Joe, I know that you know what you're doing, but this guy, Jason, I don't know, I've never heard of him, blah 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 blah, and so on. Okay, fine. I say to the hard money guy, well, if I could work with Jason on his project, okay, so I'm now part of Jason's team, if that makes sense, okay. That will give the lender money, the lending source, a lot more comfort, knowing that Jason is teamed up with someone who's been doing this for 25 years. Follow me? So it's no longer just Jason by himself, but it's Jason as part of a team that has done this many, many times. Okay? So now Jason is not just going with Jason as himself, but Jason is going as part of a team. Okay? That includes someone like myself. So the hard money lender or the financing source will feel more comfortable lending Jason the money because he's no longer just Jason by himself. It's Jason part of the team. It's still Jason's deal. I'm not. It's his deal. I'm just part of his team.
Right.
Okay. If the project failed, I mean, he's the one that we sign on the dotted line, not me.
Right.
But he's bringing me in as part of the team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And therefore, from a lender's perspective, he has now experience, okay, both as a JV partner on the deal that we've done together, but also with Joseph because he's been doing this for about 20, 25, 30 years. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, his credibility in the lender's eye is a lot stronger than if he went there by himself. Make sense?
Makes sense.
So I have several of those lending sources who say, Joe, if you're part of the team, then we'll feel more comfortable lending to people, you know, your people. But if they come as an individual who may not have done anything, then we're going to obviously be a lot more cautious, a lot more conservative. You see what I'm saying? So these are the things that I think that we all can do. And I know what these guys are looking for. We'll prep you up, and if we do a JV project together, you know, you won't be so intimidated by, because the people that lend money, they want to lend money. That's how they make money. You know what I mean? They want to lend money. They just have to make sure that they're not going to waste their money, or you're just going to blow their money up.
So you are telling us that for hard money lender you pay around 8%. And in this case, what's the profit ratio and what's the division?
That's one of the first things you do because that's the structural part you need to take care of first.
Well, it's again, kitchen, bathrooms, number one, number two. So what can I do to make it an eye-opening kitchen and bathroom? You see what I'm saying? Now another investor may say, no, I'd rather put 90% HVAC unit because my HVAC guy says, this is a very, very unique house. It's a unique location opposite a federal park. It's a large park and where no development can take place. So it's, you know, and also this is not your cookie cutter DC house. You know what I mean? It's very unique in the sense that it's got a lot of charisma to this house. And that's what I like about it. And this is a buy, fix, and sell. I was seriously thinking about keeping this house for a long-term hold, but I was convinced and lobbied to sell it to a prospective buyer. Okay. The dilemma is I could sell the house and realize the appreciation, you know, the over $600,000 worth of appreciation, and then use that money to do what you're talking about, which is to buy, you know, bigger properties or more properties, or just keep it, because I personally don't feel that Trinidad is maxed out yet. There's still a lot going on around there, and to give it a few more years when all that stuff is finished, then what's it called? Then you can really maximize the value of that neighborhood. So the dilemma is, do I sell the house and realize the profits today, and then buy other assets, or just ride it out a bit longer until the real until Trinidad becomes another Columbia Heights, you know, which shouldn't take that long, about another five to 7 years.
What should he do?
It depends.
Ah.
First time. So it's a lot of information. You know, I'm really excited about it. You know, I'm really just trying to catch the emotion of it. Because people buy emotionally and then they defend it logically. So I know if I can get it emotionally, then I can, you know, hone in on that logically and really do what he was saying. But I mean, this guy, Joseph, you know, I'm listening to him and I can really, you know, I like his personality. I feel like I can emulate it. And, you know, I'm going to stay in touch with him. I got his card. And he's willing to meet with me. I'm going to Mr. Bennett's card. And, you know, this can build.
You're on your way. You got some notes to start off.
Yeah, that's right.
They help you
This
to.
can really build wealth for me and my family, so I'm really looking forward to it. You know, I've always been interested in real estate. Now it's something that I feel like I can do now after coming here tonight. And, you know, just one night, so who knows if I keep coming back, what can happen. So, appreciate it, man.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
So it's what you call a defining moment, as they say. Essentially, the gist of it was that I used to, you know, I knew one person here in the United States. You know, usual stuff. I carried 2 suitcases, $100 in my pocket. You know that story. I knew one person here, and I was working at a company, and my boss at that time, we used to do a lot of travel, international travel, and he was fired. And nothing for anything that he did. It's just that, what's it called? There's a reorganization. The new guy came in, brought his guys in, and my boss was let go. Okay? So we hooked up later on, a couple months later, about 4 to 6 weeks later, to have lunch. And so he said, oh, it's no big deal, Val's let go, Joe. It's no problem. I have these rental properties, which are generating passive income. So I have another source of income. So he said, in essence, to me was, whatever you do, make sure you have a plan B, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Look what happened to me. But you may want to check this real estate stuff out, because it may work. If you do get into real estate, try to hold on to your houses as opposed to quickly sell them, because that way you can generate residual income. So that was what he shared with me. And to cut a long story short, usual stuff. 2 o'clock in the morning, I couldn't sleep. Turned on the TV. There's a guy on TV. You too could do real estate. All you gotta do is just give me your credit card. All will be well. And so I bought this guy's course, and it made it sound so easy. Anyway, I went to a real estate meeting in Washington D.C. and I hooked up with this guy who just happened to have a house around the corner on Gresham Place, which is very close. Well, now it's called Columbia Heights. And he said, I've got a house around the corner, I'll sell it to you, no money down. Just like what they said on the CDs, or it was tapes at that time, not CDs. And so I went to the house, and there were some tenants in the house. And so I asked the tenants, I asked him, what are the tenants like? He said, oh man, they're great people, they're wonderful, And I was straight from England, so all Americans were honest people, God-fearing, they don't lie. So I took him at his word. And after I bought the house, I found out that they hadn't paid him for 3 months. And there was a water bill of $5,000, and they were going to sell that house in a tax sale. Most of the money is bank money, okay? And let's role play, Mohammed. Let's say Bank A. They're going to require a financial statement. A financial statement is essentially a summary of your income and assets, income and expenses, assets and liabilities, okay, and your net worth, okay. So they want to fill that out. They want to do a credit check on you. They want to know blah 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 blah. Okay, these are the 10 things that they need to know in order for them to borrow you the money. Okay, if you're comfortable with that, let's go. If you're not comfortable and say, well, Joe, I just filed bankruptcy yesterday. My wife just left me, and I'm homeless. I don't think I would qualify for, bank financing. Okay, I mean, obviously that's a ridiculous scenario. So that's not on the table. We have to go to another source. Okay, and so we have to go to a bit more expensive money. It may be hard money. Okay, or it could be the crowdfunding money. Okay, whatever it is. So let's go to number 2, which is the mid-level. Okay. Mohammed, this is what they need da 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 da. And you say, I don't think I can do that one. Okay, let's go to this one. Okay, Mohammed, this is what they need da 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 da. I think I can do that one. Okay, because they don't care that I'm homeless. They don't care that my wife just left me yesterday. They don't care. They don't really care about that. But they look more looking on the deal. This is a solid deal. You're buying a house that's worth $200,000. You're buying it for $50,000. It's a solid deal. So they know that if worse comes to worse, they'll just take the house, and there's enough in there that it's worth their while. Okay? It's a good deal. So they'll lend you the money based on the deal, not so much on you. Follow me? So therefore, their lending criteria is a lot looser, a lot reasonable. Okay? So if that's the way it is, then that's the way it is. So you will then qualify, you will then apply for that money. As part of that package, what we will do, we'll develop what we call a credibility, I help you create what we call a credibility kit, which is a summary of your experience. Summary of what it is, you're addressing what they're looking for. Okay? If we've done a deal together, then we want to highlight that. If we've done a JP, you want to highlight this is part of your experience. Okay? You've been part of this project. It's true, you're not lying, you're part of this project. You're a partner on this project, okay? You're going to summarize all that, okay? With photographs before, after, maybe take a couple of shots of you talking to people during that session that we talked about. I mean, this is serious stuff here. This is part of a story that you're telling, okay? That you're not some guy who just finished a boot camp or just bought some CDs and now wants to borrow money. You're not one of those people. You are somebody who's seasoned, someone who's done a deal, someone who's got legitimate, experience, okay? And this is what you're bringing to the table, okay? So that would be what we're going to package, okay, as we move forward and make the application, okay? And then as part of that thing, I may have a relationship with that hard money source, so I will speak to them first and kind of set the picture, okay? And working the deal with Mohammed. This is where it is, da da da. And I think Mohammed's going to be a good guy, and on this deal that he's going to be doing, I'm going to be working with him, okay, on this deal, okay? So I've set the table for you, okay? Now, you have to sell. I mean, I can't, you have to do that final, I can take you to the start, but you got to take it over, okay? So, but the idea is that you're no longer just another person to them. Okay, they know you based on my, referral and discussion and things like that. And then, if there's a gray area, they're probably going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay, that if you were somebody that they didn't know. Okay, so I can only take you so far. At some point, you've got to take it over. But hopefully, you'll be able to get the financing based on what we've done. Than if you were just to go there by yourself. You see what I'm saying? So that's all I can do is to set the table, and at some point then you have to kind of take over.
My question is, what's the charge? What do you charge for that? And what's the percentage you?
Okay, so when you do a deal, the way I do it is that I like deals to be cut and dry. Okay, it's my deal or your deal. Okay, I've been through one partnership before. Okay. And a partnership is like a marriage, okay? And if you pick the wrong partner, it gets ugly, you know what I mean? And you're gonna have, disagreements and problems and things like that, okay? And there's lots of stories about that, okay? So you got to pick real careful who you partner with. That's the reason why I don't partner with anybody unless we've done some, unless I get to know them, okay? And just like marrying somebody after a blind date, you don't really know the person, you gotta get to know them before you say, yeah, okay, this is what I want to marry, and so on. So I haven't done a deal with you yet. Okay, I may not even know Mohammed. So I'm very leery of going into a partnership with you. Okay, but if I get to know you, we've done some stuff together, then maybe. Okay, so it's either your deal or my deal. There's no marriage yet, okay? If it's my deal, then I will, you'll get a return on your money, 8%, that's it. You don't get part of the profits, it's just pure, you're a debt financer, okay? You're not equity financing, you're debt financing, okay? Likewise, if it's your deal, it's your deal. I may provide some consulting services for you, to help you through the project and it's more of a consulting type relationship, okay? But it's your deal. It's your deal. At the end of the day, you're the one responsible for it. You're the one signed on the dollar line. If there are profits, you get it. Okay. If there are losses, it's on your head. Okay. But I'm there to help you, more likely to succeed than if you're trying to do it yourself. But there's a consulting fee as part of that. You follow me? But at the end of the day, it's your deal. Therefore, there's no gray area as to whose deal it is. Does that answer your question? And then you pay a consulting fee. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is where he was coming from, like how you decide how much will be the consultant.
Oh, how much? I mean, it depends. It depends on the project. If it's something like minor, then obviously it's less. But if it's a major project, it's going to spend on for 3, 4, 5 months. Obviously, it's slightly more. So it varies anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. If that answers your question. Okay. Yeah. Depending on that. I'm not there to gouge you. Okay.
So how do you get paid? That you want it in increments?
Yeah, usually like something up front and then something halfway and then something at the end.
Okay.
No back end.
Well, it's his project. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying,
No, basic meaning like pay you your fee at the end of the project on the settlement table. Can you wait till then? Can you wait till then?
Hey, he's a business person.
business side, yeah. You're a citizen now, so I don't burn you. You gotta stick it up.
In case,
Now, what I just came from England lately. I thought all Americans are honest, yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, look, the important thing is that this is not going to allow me to quit my job. I mean, I enjoy helping people, as you can probably tell, okay? And I think it's good that you have me succeed, okay? Because I know in this business there's so many minefields, when you do so many moving parts, things that can go wrong, okay? I think I gave the story, one of the Camden last week. We were doing a rehab at that house on Southeast, okay? And when I bought the house, we flushed the toilets and everything was fine, okay? And the water, what's it called? The water was up. After the guys started rehabbing the house, they flushed the toilets, they started backing up, okay? So we knew there was something wrong with the sewer line, okay? And so we got a plumber, okay, to snake the line. And they snaked the line until they hit 63 feet. When they hit 63 feet, they ran into something, okay? And so you know, the guy said, you know, something is going on at 63 feet. And the way it works in DC, let's say this is the property line, okay? Anything on this side of the property line is my responsibility. It's on my side of the house. Anything on this side of the property line is on the city side, okay? And they'll be responsible for it. And 63 feet just so happens to be right here, okay, on my side. Just like 2 feet on my side. So it's my problem, okay? So what's it called? And there was a big tree in front of the house. So we thought maybe the tree roots had come in and got into the line. No big deal. So the guy started digging to find out where the main sewer line is, okay? Started digging, and they couldn't see the sewer line. They kept on digging, they couldn't see it. They had to dig 10 feet, which is about high from here to here, down to the ground, okay, before they saw the sewer line, okay, 10 feet down. And then they had to break the main sewer line and then snake it from that side. And what happened was that the previous owner, they had the same problem, and they snaked the line and couldn't get their snake out. So they yanked it out and left their snake inside. Okay, and that every so often would hit the we'll call it blockage. Okay, so that obviously they didn't disclose that. You know, they didn't tell me. They knew there was a problem. They just didn't disclose it. And I now had the house, so I couldn't complain. You know, I couldn't say, you know, why did I buy this house? You know, blah blah blah. It's my house. I got to deal with it. Okay. So we snaked the line from the other side. You know, the city. You know, from just inside my line, snaked it that way. And then the guys were pushing about 10-15 minutes. Ultimately, they got that snake out. So that in itself, I mean, that was brutal. I mean, I got the videos of that thing. I mean, if you can imagine digging from here to here in the ground, okay, down, you know, by hand, okay, because what's it called? You couldn't get a machine down there, and that's what these guys were doing. And that in itself could have cost around $20,000, just that. Okay. Now, if that was your project, okay, if that was your project, you know, Teresa, Antoinette, this is your first project. Okay, that could have wiped you out. Just that alone. Okay, and because you don't know how to deal with it, you're not experienced enough. This is not what the CDs tell you. They don't talk about this part of the project. You know, all they tell you about is the palm trees in the background and quitting your job and credit. They don't tell you the dirty little secrets about things that go wrong. But you only learn about those things when you actually do a deal. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, the best way to learn it is just to do it. But to do it with people who know what they're doing. I mean, I had great contractors, so we just got it done and took care of it and kept rolling. Okay, but that could have wiped the project out if it was a major thing. I mean, can you imagine digging from here to here down in the street? Okay, until you saw the sewer line, and we didn't know where it was. We thought it was maybe 3 feet up because we thought it was a tree root that was causing this problem. When in fact it wasn't that. It was just that the previous owner got a snake in there and left it in there, the snake head.
So
Okay.
they did not dig, they were just doing from the drain hole. Previous owners.
No, they were going from the house. Okay, but when they were doing it, when they were snaking it, obviously whoever they were using couldn't get the snake out. So they were pulling out. Okay, and it must have got entangled against something. So they yanked it so hard that the snake head was left behind, along with part of the snake, and so on. You follow me? There's no way I would know that.
Yeah.
You don't know.
So they didn't charge you for the dead snake?
They did charge me.
Snake wire, no, snake wire was from the previous
Yeah.
Owners, they gave you snake free?
Yeah. They tried
the
to-
house.
They tried to.
There was no disclosure. I didn't know.
So Joseph, that was the only reason that it was slow, because
Yeah, something was going on in the line. Okay, you know, because we flushed the toilet, and every so often it'll back up. So we knew something was being jammed, stuck in the line, but we didn't know what it was.
liquid plumber were not working.
Liquid plumber wouldn't take out a snake head, and but we didn't know what it was. It's only when the plumber, in fact, what happened? The plumber snaked the line. When he pulled his line out, when he hit the 63 feet, he said something is going on here. Okay, so when he pulled his snake out, he saw a piece of another snake. He said, "You got a snake in there that's stuck in here, and you know, there's nothing I can do. The only way you can get it out is to dig the ground, and take it out."
So nowadays they have little cameras too. I think maybe that helps a little bit.
Well, the problem was that the cameras work when the line is what's it called, dry.
Yeah.
You know, what's it called? In our case, the line was full of water. So you ran a camera through, you couldn't see anything. It was just full of dirty water.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what, you know, so we thought about, let's just run the camera and see what's going on. But the line was full of dirty water, sewage water. Okay, so if you ran a camera through, you couldn't see anything. You know, those things work when the line is empty or dry. Then you can see what's going on. We couldn't.
You cannot section out the water?
And the other thing was that, I mean, you saw the house, I mean, hopefully you guys saw it, the house was on a hill. It's a quirky, it's a scenario I've never seen before. Okay, I've been doing this for a long time, and we just hadn't come across that scenario. And it just so happened I've got great contractors. When we explained the problem, we said, this is how we're going to do it, and we just did it. I mean, I got video of that stuff. I mean, it made me sweat just watching these guys working. I mean, it's doom, 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 10 feet down, okay? I mean, it's back-breaking stuff. So this is what can happen, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's going to happen to you, it's the first time it happened to me. But things happen. It's just like here on this house. There's some ducts here. Okay, we thought, okay, let's just take the wall out and call it a day. So we took the wall out and find these ducts going from here to the second floor. Okay? And another duct from there going to the second floor. You don't know what's behind the wall until you take the wall out. Okay? And so we may have all these great ideas of what we're going to do. And then you do the demo, and then you come across stuff. Stuff that you don't want to see, you see. And stuff that you want to see, you don't see. But it's your house now. Yeah, you know, you got to deal with it. Yeah, and that's where, you know, when Larry's estimating 70K, you may want to budget maybe 75 or 80, because you're going to run into stuff which you may not imagine. Okay? So I talked about financing. Everyone's okay with financing?
Yeah.
You don't have people who invested like partners. for not only 8%, a percentage of the project, around 25%, 30%, 50%, working partner, investing partner.
Right.
Don't work like that.
Right, you're saying that, do I have like, it's something like equity financing, or partners, the partner, yeah. I've done that once, I said, I've done that once. It was a 50-50 arrangement, and I'll just give you a summary, okay, of what happened. Okay, so as you can see, we're in the living room right now. We have a vaulted ceiling, which again is very unique, and so it's a very, very nice, you know. So the house, when I bought it, had been abandoned for a number of years. I think 5 to 7 years. I forgot what it was, and it was the squatters moved in, and they set up in this house, and they ultimately there was a fire on the second floor. Okay, and the neighbors were very angry because this was an eyesore, this house. And ultimately, the wholesaler called me and said they found this house. I came over here. Similar to that scenario I talked about today, I had to make a decision. Do I want to buy this house or not? I made a quick assessment of how much the rehab is going to be. I estimate around 140, 150,000, and ultimately we bought the house for 175. Okay, and so what we've done here is to make it. We focused on 5 things: the kitchen, the bathrooms, the bedrooms with closets, open space, and functionality, flow. Everything kind of flows from one to another. So we're in the living room now. As you can see, we have a nice fireplace. We've still got to paint the fireplace. That's told you that. And we took out, there's a bunch of walls here. Okay, there's a wall from here to here. There's an opening from where you are, Abdul, to here. So I could see you. If I was here, you couldn't see me. Okay, there was a wall here. There was another wall over here. There's a wall over here with an opening to the over here, which was a kitchen. There's a dining area over here. Now, I know you won't believe me, but you'll see when I go outside. If you go outside, there used to be a door here. This is the door to go out to that was the exit from the kitchen. Okay, from here. Okay, so the kitchen essentially was this space here. You follow me? Because this was the door to get out from the kitchen. Okay. And over here was a window, okay, and what's it called? It was a half window, okay. So that was it, okay. So that kitchen was too small, and I knew that if we kept the kitchen as it was, people would come here and say, "What is this?" It was not attractive, so we had to make the kitchen bigger, and the only way we could do that was to condemn this door here. Okay, extend the kitchen out, but we had to get a way to get out from the first floor. So we created this half wall and made it into a walkout, okay, with a sliding door, patio. So now you can get in and get out from the first floor. Before you got in and got out through there, but now you get in and go. So that gives us the opportunity to make the kitchen bigger, but by condemning that wall. Okay, you follow me? That door. Okay, we opened all this whole area, so now you can see essentially from the front of the house all the way to the back of the house. And this is a relatively small bedroom, dining room, but this is where the dining room is going to be. And we made a pantry here as well, because we found that people love pantries. Okay, so especially in DC, it's very rare to find houses with pantries. So we created one here. Okay, so again, we focused on the key things that people like. Okay. And it's kitchens, bathrooms, bedrooms, and so on. Now, there's a bathroom here. That room there, that bedroom there, was the master originally. Okay, there was a bathroom here. Okay, from that master bedroom to the bathroom here. Okay, but we felt that every level of the house needs a bathroom. Okay, so we opened this wall up. Okay, to get an entrance into the bathroom. So it's like what they call a Jack and Jill. So now if you have guests and they want to go to the bathroom, they don't have to go upstairs, they can go through here to the bathroom. Okay, so that's technically, it's not a private bathroom, but if you're in that bedroom, you can still go to the bathroom. But also your guests can come to the bathroom from here. You follow me so far? Yeah. And that's what we did on the first floor. So on the first floor, we have a living room, a dining room, living room, kitchen, dining room, pantry, bathroom, and one bedroom. Okay, we created this door, which then led you out into the deck, That's a new deck. Okay, that deck didn't exist before because this was just a half wall. Follow me? So we created that deck, and the way we did it was to have 2 entrances to the deck. Okay, so if you drive your car, you can then get out your car and go up the steps into here. Also, if you're in the basement, you can go up the basement and then go through the steps here to here.
So you guys created the door to the basement too.
Oh yes, that was me. We'll go downstairs, I'll show you. Now, the basement is where the major work was. This was a 3-bed, 1-bath house. It's now a 5-bed, 4-bath.
Wow, amazing.
5 bedrooms, 4 baths. It was a 3-1. Okay? Again, we all could have bought this house. We're all investors. I turned it into a 5-bed, 4-bath. Based on my experience, the contractor's money and so on. You could have bought this house and left it as a 3-1. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's different. So when people tell you, I bought a house for 175, I sold it for 460, I made all this money, they're missing the details in the middle. Okay? They could have bought the house for 175, but what they did, they could only sell it for 300.
You are right, I agree.
You know? What I'm talking is value add. It's strategic value add, not just doing stuff. You know what I mean? It's the doing stuff is what will get people in trouble. It's the strategic value add is what makes the difference between you and I, a seasoned investor and a new investor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so on. So it's not just a matter of, hey, I'm just an investor. You're lucky, Joe. You got a good deal. You made all this money. You're lucky. You know, yes, maybe, but what I'm talking to you is not luck. This is calculated decisions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why did I condemn that door? Another investor would have left that door alone. Okay? Why did I open it up here? Another investor would have left it alone with a window here. Why did I build a deck? Another investor would have maybe not built a deck. If they built a deck, maybe just have 1 entrance. We wanted 2. Okay, and so on. You see what I'm saying, where this is going? Another investor would have left that bathroom as well. We made it into such that we have an exit from here and there. These are decisions. Okay? And each decision has consequences. And that's what I'm trying to get to you, is that to be successful in this business, it's not a matter of just buying a house, crossing your fingers, and hopefully you make some money. It doesn't work that way. You know, and that's what I've been talking about all day this morning and today. It's not luck. These are decisions that if we work together, you'll see my thinking. Because what I'm talking to you now, it seems obvious now. You think, oh, it's obvious he made it. Yeah, it's obvious. Well, what's the discussion? I would have done that. No, you wouldn't have.
That's true.
And I'll send you the video, and first of all, you'd be horrified and say, why in the world do you want to buy this thing? Okay, and so on. But this little ugly house potentially could make $100,000, you know, net profit from this thing if we're savvy about it. Net, okay, after about 4 months. Okay, 4 or 5, let's say 6 months from start to finish. Okay, that's what we're talking about. If you're calculated at this time, it's possible. It's not easy, but it's possible when the pieces are together. And my goal is to, if we work together, is to help you get all those pieces together. You see what I'm saying? And that way you can then start making your $20, $30, $40, $50,000 profits and things like that. That's the end game here. That's the goal. Okay. First floor. Any questions before we move up or down?
You did not increase the square footage, other than adding the deck. You didn't increase either square or cubic footage in any way.
No, yes we did. Upstairs, what's it called? There was an addition that the previous owners did have, but there was a fire up there. It was uninhabitable. Okay, we were able to capture that space and reused it. The basement, and when we get downstairs, I'll explain to you. The basement downstairs, this part was habitable. From, let's say the stairs is here to this part, it was just a rec room. This part down in the basement forward was crawl space. Okay, that was captured space. Okay, well that walkout from the basement, we created that. It didn't exist before.
Amazing.
Okay, and that was, I mean, again, just seeing these guys working. I mean, they have to dig.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just back-breaking stuff. It's back-breaking. I was going to lose the house, and then the what's it called? The tenants were real religious people. You go there, you know, where's my rent? And the lady would say, well, according to Matthew 8, verse 15, The Lord is good, don't worry, you get bad. You know, just have faith. And so this was going on for about 3 months, you know. And I was trying to collect rent, and I was getting passages for the Bible. Ultimately, anyway, to cut a long story short, this was pure hell. I mean, this is not what the guy on the CD was talking about. He didn't talk about this side of the real estate investing. He missed that out. And to cut a long story short, what happened was that the tenants applied for assistance, and they were rejected. And so they appealed, and the government paid all their back rent. They paid a $5,000 water bill, and they gave them a voucher, and where they get rental assistance. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, I had an attorney at that time. He said, "This is unbelievable. I've never heard of this before." So I met up with the lady, the old lady, the mother of the house, and she was saying, "Well, I told you the Lord is good. I told you he'll work things out." Yeah. So that's my entree into real estate investing. I knew nothing. Okay. You probably know more about real estate than I did when I bought my first house. Okay. It was purely trial by fire, as they call it. And but looking back, I mean, I can have a good laugh about it, chuckle, ha, the Lord is good, we can all kind of joke about it. But at the time, it was very traumatic, and so on. So anyway, I learned a lot from that experience about what not to do. Because I did everything that you're not supposed to do. And then I bought another one, and it kept on going. And until, June 6, 2003. When the company I was working for, had a pretty good job, 6-figure salary, and my income from my rental properties equaled what I was making at the company. And at that point, I had my plan B, just like what my boss told me originally. And so I was able to leave the corporate world and move more into real estate investment. So that's sort of how I got into what I do. So I do a lot of buy and holds. Buy and hold is that you buy it, you fix it up, and then you keep it, okay? And so there are different strategies. So looking back now, if I had to do it all over again, I would do a mixture or a hybrid, which I call the fast track, which is a mixture of buy, fix, and sell flips, okay? And buy, fix, and hold, okay? The buy and flips, the buy, fix, and sell, what it does, it generates quick cash, okay? Because you gotta take care of your cash needs. If you can't pay your electric bill, your car note, renting a house and getting $200, $300 cash flow is not gonna cut it, okay? So you need cash, okay? When I was working, my cash was being taken care of on my job. So you gotta have some means of income, cash, okay? And if you got a job, obviously you want to keep your job because it generates cash. If you don't have a job, then you have to have strategies that generate cash. Wholesaling, fix and flip like this house, bird dogging and things like that, okay? They generate quick cash. Once your cash needs are being met, then you can talk about the buy and hold, which is more cash flow, okay? Because the first house I bought, through all that pain and suffering and hassle with that lady, the tenant, I was making $50 a month cash flow. $50, okay? So, the rent I was collecting and the mortgage or the debt I was paying, I was net positive $50, okay? So you're thinking, why in the world will I go through all this for $50? It doesn't make any sense. And most people in their right mind would have just sold the house and called it a day, okay? That house now, I bought it for $40,000. Okay, that house on that block can now go for $700,000 to $750,000. Okay, on that block. The rent is $2,700 a month. Okay, the mortgage is paid off, and we've got a line of credit which will allow us to buy more houses. Understand? So that one asset has allowed to spin off so many other benefits. If I had sold the house, none of this would be possible. Okay, so but I was only able to do that because I had a job, which allowed me to pay my electric bill, car notes, and so on. Because the $50 wouldn't have cut it. You see what I'm saying? So looking back now, I would do that hybrid strategy. Flip some houses, which generate cash, and then hold on to some houses, which which generate long-term cash flow. Everybody get that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I do, okay? And most investors, unfortunately, are into the buy flips. They do the quick cash only. That's all they do is quick cash, okay? Which is okay because it generates cash. But the problem is that it's almost like another job. You've got to keep on doing it. If you stop doing it, the money stops. It stops as well, okay? So after you've done one rehab, your money, you sold the house, there's no money left coming in, okay? So now you've got to look for another rehab in order to get some more cash and then do it again. So it's like, almost like a treadmill. It's almost like another job. And so you've got to have other strategies which bring in cash flow on a regular basis, okay? And that's what the sort of buy and hold does. But if you do the buy and hold, it also brings you to a whole other world of landlording, okay? Which is, that's another subject. And I want to do another subject on a session on that one because for a buy and hold to be effective, okay, you've got to be able to take care of your landlording strategies, okay? Because you're now dealing with people who are renting, they may or may not pay you, they may not tear your house up, you may have to go to landlord-tenant court, and so forth and so on. So that's a whole other world which we'll discuss another time. But today we're just going to focus on the fix and flip strategy, okay? Okay. So that's what got me to what I do, okay? And so I've been doing fix and flips for about 4 years, 4.5 years, I think it is. Okay, before that, I was just doing purely buy and hold. I never sold anything. Okay, but I realized is that there are advantages in buy and hold. That's why I buy and flips. Okay, and so for the past few years, I've been sort of developing that strategy, and that's what we're going to talk about in more detail today. Okay. Before you can do anything, you've got to take care of your, I would just call it your fears, okay? Because nothing happens if you feel like you can't do it, okay? It's a psychological block, okay? I have this, one thing I realized is that looking back, the best way to address that is to do a deal. Because you don't know until you do it, okay? I mean, you can talk about it, think about it, read a CD about it, read a book about it, but ultimately you've got to pull the trigger and do a deal. Okay, that's the fastest way to learn this stuff. And one thing I realized was that the gurus, the CDs, and the guys who show up on TV and things like that, it's all well and good, but it just brings it home when you're part of a real project. Okay, and that's what I try to do, is to give people the opportunity to see how I do it. And I do have a joint venture program which gives people the opportunity to see, to be a part of a real project, like for instance this thing. Okay, I have several people on this project, and they saw the house in its original condition. They've seen the house the way it is, like what you're seeing today, and they'll be a part of this project all the way through to completion. Several people I think have been here, have been a part of that program with me. It's a real good program, and I really do encourage you to consider it. There are 3 ways to get in. One way is to bring a deal. So if you're a wholesaler, real estate agent, bird dog, if you find a deal and you bring it to my attention, and if I buy it, then you're part of the deal. Okay? You're part of the program. Second way is to bring some money. If you're a private investor or you got some excess money, if you bring that to the table, then you're also part of the program. I offer 8% return on the annualized return on their money. And then the third way is if you have a skill or a talent, because not everybody has money and not everybody has a deal, but everybody here has a talent, a skill in some capacity. So the idea is to work with me to see if we can develop some kind of bartering system. You bring some talent to the table, and in exchange you get to participate in the program. Okay, so there's really 3 ways, and so to enter into the program. It is a really, really good program. I think it's the greatest program ever created. I'm being modest here. But it really is, because the only way to learn this thing is to do it. That's it, okay? If you don't do it, it's scary. And the way it plays out, every single JV project, this is how it plays out, okay? You'll see the house in its ugly form, like before. I think hopefully most of you have seen the video, okay? You'll see a house like that, and you'll say, oh my goodness, why did he buy this? Goodness, I don't think I could do something like this. Okay, it's scary, it's intimidating. Okay, this one's not so bad. But the one that John's been part of, which is going to be where my next rehab workshop is going to be, that was real bad. And so anyway, so the idea is that it's scary, it's intimidating. But as we work together during the transformation of the house, this is how it plays out. At some point in that project, it clicks. He said, I think I can do this. Yeah, I think I can do this, okay? It's not so intimidating as I thought it would be when I first started, okay? And as time goes by, your confidence level increases because you're seeing how it's done, okay? We're running into problems, we're running into issues, and you're part of the solution. I mean, there's no sugarcoating, this stuff. This is how it is, okay? And we kind of work through the issues, work through the problems. We discuss different scenarios and how it could be solved, okay? And so you kind of look back and say, okay, yeah, that's true. I can do that one. I can do this. And at some point in the project, you feel like, yeah, I think I can do this. Okay, I think I can do this. It may not be as big a project like what we're part of like this, but it could be a minor project, a little paint and carpet, kind of project. He said, yeah, I think I can do something like that. Because once you've been through a major rehab, the smaller ones aren't so bad. I mean, if you address the issues on the big stuff, when you hit the small stuff, it's not so intimidating, okay? So your confidence level gets raised to a certain point where you say, yeah, I can do this. And then you move on to the next issue is, well, I don't have any money. Or I don't have enough money. Or I don't have contractors. You know what I mean? Because you can't even get to that point if you don't feel like you can do it. You see what I'm saying? So now it becomes a matter of logistics. Okay, how do I get the money? How do I don't know any contractors, how do I connect with those people? What's the, I don't know, real estate agents who can sell this stuff, okay? You can get to that point once you feel like you can do it. And then we can work together, because I have relationships with financial institutions, financial sources and things like that, whereby I can connect you with those financial sources, okay? And things like that.
I don't know, are you taking questions as we go or at the end?
Fire away.
For your JV program, you mentioned bring a skill. So those hard skills or soft skills, like picking up a hammer kind of skills, or marketing, or IT, or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I've got guys who can pull drywall, so I don't think. Yeah. I know. Can you pull around drywall? Maybe. I can always tell you if you can hide it. But no, the idea is everybody has skills, soft skills, hard skills, whatever it is, okay? And what I do is I come across, okay, what do you enjoy doing? You know what I mean? And then we have that discussion. And once I have a better understanding of what we like to do, then we can see if we can figure a way whereby we can incorporate to what I do. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm a business person, I'm running a business. So there's lots of business type skills that we all have. Soft skills, hard skills, interpersonal skills, communication skills, admin skills, technical skills. I mean, we all have talents. And so it's a matter of trying to work out a win-win scenario. Make sense?
So this is good to go over the other two. So money, what's usually the range of money do you take for joint ventures?
It varies depending on the project, on the location. The DC one, because the DC projects are bigger money.
Yeah.
It's typically around anywhere from 45 to 55,000. Okay, and the Maryland ones are a little bit cheaper because we're dealing with lower numbers. But that's how it is in DC. And typically, I offer 8% annualized return on the money. Okay, and so on. So you got the bring a deal, bring some money, or bring a service or a skill that we can borrow. Okay, and so that's what we try to do. Okay, now so once you go through that, then it's a matter of, okay, I've got relationships with some banks. I've got relationships with some hard money lenders. I went to a real estate conference about a month ago at National Harbor and connected with this company. They do a lot of crowdfunding. And so they have unlimited money. Unlimited, they said.
What's required on the crowdfunding?
On the which one?
On the crowdfunding.
The crowdfunding, yeah. So what they were saying was that we got talking, and he was saying that, look, Joe, if because they kind of know me now. We had a lot of discussions, and so the idea is that their rates are lower than hard money, but higher than banks. Banks is the cheapest money. Okay, your regular banks. Okay. Then the next level would be, a lot of people do either banks or hard money. Hard money is very expensive, 13, 14, 15%, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Okay. Banks are like 5, 6%. Okay, so if you can get cheap money, you want to go there. Makes more sense, okay? But not everybody has the ability or the opportunity or situation to be able to get bank financing. There's a lot more hoops you got to go through. There's a lot more documentation that they require. Whereas hard money, it's easier to get because it's more based on the deal, okay? But you're going to pay in terms of the rate that you're going to get, okay? So you go where you can get it, okay? You go to the cheapest source that you can get, okay? If you're at the bank level, go there. If you can't get that, then you go to the next one. As the saying goes, 50% of something is always better than 100% of nothing. Okay, so if you don't have any money and that will prevent you doing the deal, then it's better to pay a little bit more for the money, but at least you've done the deal and got some money, than not do the deal and get nothing. You see what I'm saying? So that's the kind of logic behind it. So I have relationships with these institutions, and so if we work together, I can now start connecting you with them. I can now say, okay, this is what they're looking for. I'm going to pick on Teresa. Teresa, she says she needs some money. I said, okay then. Let's go to ABC Bank. But ABC Bank needs the following documentation. They need this, they need this, they need this. This is what they're going to need to fill out, okay? They need a FICO score of whatever. They will recognize this, but not appreciate that I've got a 90% HVAC unit.
No.
Okay? Yeah, right. Then I have to pay more because I got a high-end hot water tank, but they notice the kitchen.
It was very informative. I'm looking forward to getting a good deal, a deal, and perhaps starting my rehab next week.
But what did you learn, for instance, that you didn't know before you came in?
About the sequence of how you are doing, there's a method to doing the rehab, rather than just getting in doing the work. Knowing the flow of how to get the permits, the financing. It was so much information that was there. I'm sort of like overwhelmed. I'm still digesting it.
It's going to take a while to organize
it. It's going to take, right, because I'm just getting started, sort of, kind of, So it's going to take a while for me to get it together. But I'm looking forward to continue to work with him.
So when do you think you're going to take action on this?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said the comment about I would love to start one next week. And if I could find a way to find a deal and find the financing, and I would do it next week.
Okay, so you're excited?
I'm excited about it.
Okay, so we're going to follow up and see how you actually use this information.
You can do that.
Okay,
All
thanks,
right.
Teresa.
Thank you.
Bye.